Hello, welcome our Bible tales.
What if you were the most perfect creation, the brightest star in a celestial court, only to be asked to kneel before a lesser being, a fragile thing made of dust and breath? You are there, in the beginning, before time has a name. You are Lucifer, the light-bringer, and you feel the first unthinkable tremor of dissent. It's not hatred, not yet. It is a question, a logical, terrible question of worth. Why should perfection serve imperfection? The thought is a spark in the endless sea of divine harmony, a single discordant note that threatens the entire symphony. You are now a shadow, a whisper. The radiance is gone, replaced by a burning memory of what was lost. You watch from the periphery as the dust creatures, Adam and Eve, walk in the perfection you were exiled from. They are naive, unprotected. You don't approach with fire and fury. That is not your way. Your weapon is a question, the same tool that fractured heaven. You find the serpent, a subtle beast, and you pour your logic into it. Did God really say? You are not offering a lie, but a sliver of truth wrapped in doubt. The fruit itself is not the prize is the choice, the act of disobedience. This is your first great discovery. Humanity's greatest gift, their free will, is also their most vulnerable flaw. Theologians still debate whether the serpent was merely a vessel for your voice or an active, intelligent collaborator in the fall of man. This single act introduces a new element into creation: shame. For the first time, the dust creatures know they are naked and they hide from the God they once walked with. The first victory is a quiet one, but it echoes through all of eternity. Your call to action is simple. Press like if you believe the most dangerous lies are the ones that sound like the truth. Centuries bleed into one another. You have watched empires rise and fall, but now your attention is drawn to one man. Job. He is righteous, blameless, a living testament to faith, and you see an opportunity for the ultimate philosophical wager. You re-enter the celestial court, not as a warrior, but as an accuser, a prosecutor. Remember the pride that first questioned God's judgment. Now you use that same audacity to question humanity's loyalty. Does Job fear God for no reason? You ask. Strip away his blessings, and he will curse you to your face. You are granted permission. This is not a battle of swords, but of a man's soul against the crushing weight of suffering. You unleash calamity's loss of wealth, loss of family, loss of health. You turn his friends against him, their words of comfort becoming barbs of accusation. Your Easter egg detail lies in your formal title here, Satan. In the original Hebrew, it isn't a personal name but a title, the accuser or the adversary. You are playing a designated role in the divine court. You are the ultimate stress test. But as Job sits in ashes, scraping his sores, his faith, though strained to the breaking point, does not shatter. He questions, he cries out, he laments his own birth, but he does not curse. You have lost the wager, but you have learned a valuable, terrifying lesson about the resilience of human faith. What do you think is a greater test, a sudden, catastrophic loss, or a slow, grinding despair? Comment below. The board is reset. The stakes are now higher than they have ever been. The Son of God, divinity wrapped in fragile flesh, walks the earth. You find him at his weakest, 40 days without food, alone in the vast, silent wilderness. The silence itself is a weapon. You approach not as a monster, but as a reasonable voice. Remember how you twisted truth in the garden. You now wield it with surgical precision, quoting the very scriptures he embodies. First, the temptation of the flesh. If you are the Son of God, command these stones to become bread. A simple logical act for one who is hungry. Second, the temptation of pride. You take him to the pinnacle of the temple and whisper, "Throw yourself down," citing the psalm that promises angels will protect him. Prove your status. Finally, the ultimate offer. "All the kingdoms of the world I will give you, if you will bow down and worship me." You offer a shortcut past the suffering, past the cross. Your lesser-known detail is the sheer audacity of this moment. In Jewish tradition, the wilderness is the place of demonic spirits, a realm outside God's immediate order. You are on your home turf. Theologians still debate whether these temptations were literal, physical events or a profound internal, spiritual battle within Christ's mind. Each time he counters not with a miracle but with a word. It is written ... He uses the same scripture you twist, but as a shield. You retreat, but only, as the book of Luke notes, until an opportune time. You have shown your hand. The war for creation has now become personal. Your next move is a demonstration of power, a public display of your domain over the physical world. You find a man in the country of the Gerasenes, a broken vessel for your influence. He is not merely troubled, he is a fortress of unclean spirits, living among tombs, shattering chains. This isn't the subtle whisper you used on Eve. This is a brutal, overwhelming occupation. When the Nazarene confronts the man, he asks for a name. The answer comes not from one voice, but a chorus. "My name is Legion," they say, "for we are many." This is a military term, an occupying army of 6,000 soldiers in a single soul. This is your theological Easter egg. The name Legion is a stark reminder of the Roman occupation of Judea, linking your spiritual oppression to the very real, physical oppression the people felt every day. You make the Nazarene's power undeniable. The spirits beg not to be sent into the abyss, a term for the bottomless pit, your place of ultimate confinement, but into a herd of swine. He grants it. The herd, 2,000 strong, stampedes down a steep bank into the sea and drowns. You have lost the man, but you have sown terror and economic ruin in the region. The townspeople, seeing this raw power, are not grateful. They are terrified. They beg the Nazarene to leave. Theologians still debate whether this act was a mercy, allowing the spirits a temporary vessel, or a calculated judgment, demonstrating that a world under your influence is self-destructive. What terrifies you more, a subtle, invisible temptation, or an overt, undeniable display of evil? Let me know in the comments. The opportune time is drawing near. The final act is being set. Your focus is no longer on the masses or the possessed, but on the inner circle. You must shatter the foundation from within. You are present, a silent observer, as the Nazarene turns to his most passionate, impulsive disciple, Simon Peter. After Peter's great confession of faith, the Nazarene begins to speak of his coming suffering and death. Peter, in his human loyalty, rebukes him. Never, Lord. This shall never happen to you. It is the perfect opening, an emotional, well-intentioned rejection of the divine plan, and the Nazarene's response is swift and shocking. He is not speaking to Peter the man, but to the influence behind the words. Get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me. You do not have in mind the concerns of God, but merely human concerns. Remember the temptation in the wilderness, offering a shortcut to glory without the suffering. That is the exact same temptation you are now channeling through his most trusted friend. Your influence is so subtle, it can wear the face of love and loyalty. The lesser-known detail here is the Aramaic root of your name, Satan, which means to obstruct or to oppose. In that moment, Peter, by trying to protect Jesus, was unwittingly playing your part, obstructing the path to the cross. Theologians still debate whether this was a momentary lapse by Peter or a sign of your constant, probing assault on the minds of the disciples. You have been publicly named and rebuked, but you have also proven that you can turn the most fervent apostle into your mouthpiece, even for a moment. The cracks are showing. The grand celestial war now focuses on a single, troubled soul. You are in the shadows of Jerusalem, watching a man named Judas Iscariot. He is the keeper of the money bag, the treasurer. Remember the pride that first questioned God's plan in heaven. That same whisper now finds fertile ground, not in a theft but in a disciple's heart, watered by greed and disillusionment. You don't need a legion to possess this man. You just need to nurture the darkness already there. You watch as he approaches the chief priests. The deal is struck. The price is 30 pieces of silver. Here is your grim Easter egg. This wasn't an arbitrary sum. According to the law in Exodus 21-32, 30 shekels of silver was the standard compensation paid to a master for the death of a slave. The life of the Son of God is valued at the price of damaged property. You have orchestrated the ultimate insult. You feel the cold weight of the coins in his palm through his own senses. This is the culmination of your work, turning a follower into a betrayer, love into commerce, loyalty into a transaction. The Gospel of Luke states it plainly. Then Satan entered into Judas. Theologians still debate whether Judas was a helpless pawn in a divine plan, his actions foretold and inescapable, or if he possessed the free will to turn back at any moment but chose the silver. Was he truly possessed, a mere puppet, or did he simply open the door and invite you in? The kiss in the garden is not just a signal, it is the seal on your temporary victory, a perversion of the most intimate sign of affection into an act of profound betrayal. Comment below. What is a heavier sin, the pride that challenges God, or the betrayal that sells him for the price of a slave? The betrayal is complete. The Nazarene is bound. Now, you shift from the shadows of conspiracy to the halls of power. Your role reverts to its ancient title, Satan, the accuser. The trials begin first, before the Jewish high priest, Caiaphas, then before the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate. Remember Job, how you used legalistic arguments in the heavenly court. You now employ the same strategy on earth, using human laws and religious fervor as your weapons. You work through the whispers of the crowd, the fear of the priests, and the political calculus of the governor. False witnesses are brought forward, but their stories don't align. It doesn't matter. The accusation is what counts. Before Caiaphas, the charge is blasphemy. Before Pilate, it is sedition, a claim to kingship that challenges Caesar. You have masterfully reframed a spiritual movement as a political threat. The Easter egg here is the irony of Pilate's question. What is truth? He asks this of the one who claims to be the truth, just moments before condemning him based on a series of lies and political pressures you have orchestrated. Pilate finds no fault in him, yet he washes his hands, a symbolic act of absolving himself of a responsibility he cannot escape. You have manipulated the system to perfection. You have turned piety into a mob, justice into a sham, and a governor's duty into an act of cowardice. Theologians still debate whether Pilate was a tragic, conflicted figure trapped by circumstances or a cynical politician who knowingly condemned an innocent man to maintain order. In the end, the crowd, stirred by your unseen influence, makes their choice. They call for the release of a murderer, Barabbas, and scream for the crucifixion of their king. This is your moment of triumph, Golgotha, the place of the skull. You watch as the nails are driven home. Every prophecy of suffering you have heard is coming to pass. The sky darkens, the earth trembles. Remember the challenge you made in the wilderness. If you are the Son of God, ... That same taunt is now echoed by the soldiers, the priests, and the criminals crucified beside him. He saved others, let him save himself if he is God's Messiah. Your own words, your own logic, are now on the lips of humanity. It is the perfect echo chamber of doubt. You are witnessing the ultimate paradox. The being you tempted with all the kingdoms of the world now hangs, powerless, on a Roman cross. He cries out in agony, my God, why have you forsaken me? To your ears, this sounds like defeat. It sounds like the despair you saw in Job, but infinitely greater. The lesser-known detail is in his final words. In the Gospel of John, he says, "It is finished." In Greek tetelestai, this wasn't a cry of defeat. It was an accounting term used in commerce, meaning paid in full. A debt has been settled, but in the chaos and darkness of the moment, you perceive it as your victory. Theologians still debate whether your power was at its absolute peak in this moment, as you seemingly orchestrated the death of God's Son, or if the entire event was, in fact, the very mechanism of your ultimate undoing, a divine trap you willingly walked into. For 3 hours, darkness covers the land. The veil of the temple is torn in two. You believe you have won. You have silenced the voice, broken the body, and extinguished the light. The board is clear. You believe the story is over. But you have forgotten the nature of your enemy. For 3 days a silence falls over creation. The grave is sealed. Then, the true countermove is made, not on earth, but in your own domain. This is the harrowing of hell, an event not explicitly detailed in the Gospels, but a cornerstone of early Christian tradition and a powerful Easter egg from texts like the Gospel of Nicodemus, the Nazarene, in spirit, descends not as a victim, but as a conqueror. He is the light-bringer, the name you once held, and he brings that light into the deepest darkness. You witness him shattering the gates of Sheol or Hades, the realm of the dead. He is not there to suffer, but to liberate. Remember the wager over Job's soul. Now, he has come to claim all the righteous souls held captive since the dawn of time. Adam, Eve, Abraham, John the Baptist. He is undoing the consequences of your very first victory in the garden. This is not a battle of whispers and temptations. It is a raw display of divine authority on your own ground. The accuser has been silenced. The captor has become the captive. On the third day, the stone is rolled away. The tomb is empty. Your great victory at the cross is revealed to be the instrument of your own defeat. Theologians still debate the literal nature of the harrowing. Seeing it as either a real cosmic event or a powerful metaphor for the victory of Christ's sacrifice over the power of death itself. Your authority has been broken. You still have influence, the ability to tempt and deceive, but your ultimate power, the finality of death, has been shattered. The war is not over, but the decisive battle has been lost. And so, the grand, dark epic concludes, yet the echoes remain. The story, from the pristine heights of heaven to the dust of a garden and the darkness of a tomb, is a mirror. It forces a question that transcends theology. Where does the whisper of the accuser end and your own inner monologue begin? The struggle between pride and humility, despair and faith, betrayal and redemption, is not just a cosmic drama. It is the quiet, daily war fought within every human heart. The ultimate battlefield was never Golgotha. It has always been the landscape of free will.
Thank you for watching. Enjoyed the video? Don't forget to like and share if you found it helpful or interesting.